Hello, hello. A bit delayed, but here all the way. I have with me Mr. Parvez Taraporwala, and he has this amazing book called Trauma Redefined. Now, the book is with Partridge Publications.
That's right.
And he will be talking to us today about our quote, which is, peace is when your heart knows. Because
Hello there.
so we have my daughter's watching, so we have Ida watching.
Hi Ida, how are you? I'm glad you're watching. Your mom's doing a wonderful job.
So we're talking about peace is when you don't have to answer because your heart knows. How do you connect with that quote?
In its own self, the quote is very, very powerful. But for me, peace is when I'm one with my Lord. Because the Lord says, be still, and I will be there. You see, when you want to see your own reflection, you will never be able to see it in the wild waves of a raging sea. You need a very still pond to look at your own image. Only when the waters are still do you see your reflection.
Okay. You talk about reflection and stillness. However,
That's right.
you go by the name of Velvet Wolf.
Velvet Wolf.
So what's that all about?
For the simple reason that when I grew up in a very remote village in the back of beyond the borders of Afghanistan, and in a small little village called Mardan. So in Mardan, in the summers, a pack of wild wolves would come into our lawn and they would play with me. I was their best friend. I was about 3 years old at that time, and they were my favorite playmates. And never once have I ever been harmed, even playfully, by these magnificent animals. And when you touch them, you feel as if you're touching velvet. So that's why I call it the Velvet Wolf. And in fact, I call myself the Velvet Wolf because the spirit lives in me.
And I know you, in your book, you've kind of, I must confess, I'm a writer who doesn't read.
I enjoy that.
But I took up your challenge and you said that, I should read the first chapter, and you challenged me that I would not put it down.
Yes.
And so I did. Read through almost 80% of the book on the first go.
Okay.
Because I had met you before reading the book, I actually felt like you were speaking.
That's exactly what I've done. I prefer to have a conversation with my audience rather than to make them read what I've written. Having a conversation is I feel more effective. So that's what the script has been all about. That's how even my son has edited it in such a manner that it feels that if I'm having a conversation with my audience.
Okay. And when the book is about an accident that you had.
That's right. A very powerful incident that I went through in 2007, October.
And what were the questions you were asking yourself, and how did you find your peace?
The questions that came to mind was exactly the same question that came to my son's mind as to, Dad, why you? That was his first question. And from my point of view, I felt that this was a message from the divine himself, actually, a message that was actually telling me to slow down in my life, which I wasn't doing.
Okay.
So this was basically a small little pebble that was thrown at me.
And you have spoken about having an, what do you call it,
Out-of-life experience, yes. I went through that experience. I wasn't scared at all in that experience because I had read about these experiences many a times, many an occasion. So I knew exactly what was going on, and I completely eliminated fear from my mind. Fear is an illness I anyway do not harbor, so it did not matter to me at that point in time. I had my peace and I had my conversations with my Lord.
How important are conversations in life?
It depends on who you're having the conversation with.
I think the conversations I miss the most are with Papa.
Very nice.
Because
Very nice. Your dad's supposed to be your best friend, so why not?
He is my best friend.
Absolutely.
And it's his birthday today.
Wow. Happy birthday, Daddy.
So, so how significant is communication?
Very significant.
Because I call my videos connecting the thoughts.
Very significant.
And I know you
indeed.
watch them regularly.
Yes, I do watch them regularly.
So how important is communication, and how different perspectives? You know, we go in that place where I'm right, you're wrong. We don't understand the concept of...
Really, the idea of communication is not to prove yourself right or wrong.
Okay.
You see, one man's food is always another man's poison. The idea is simply to understand one man's point of view, per se, to another man's point of view, and come to a mutual understanding. There should be no war in communication. Argument is not a communication. Coming to an understanding and to understand the adversary is communication. Meeting halfway is communication.
So if you were to define peace, what would it be? As a signing out statement, if you were to define peace,
Yes.
what would it be?
Stillness and oneness with my Lord is peace for me. Yes.
And is there anything else that you'd like to add here?
I thank you very much indeed for your time and this opportunity to go live with you on your blog.
Thanks. You.
All of you have a wonderful day.
So that was Mr. Parvez, and he has this amazing book which you can get hold of on Amazon.
From Amazon as
Yes.
well as from my publications also, from my publishers as well.
Okay, and proceeds of the book go for
Proceeds
a charity.
of the book are going to a charity. They go to the Philippines.
Okay, and the book is called Trauma Redefined in God's Cradle. And amazing book, very difficult to put it down after you start reading.
In God's Cradle is my website.
In God's Cradle is your website.
Is my website.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's where you can find his work. And yes, his comment at the back says, and they said I had just 20 minutes to live, which was how many years back?
Now 12 years back.
All right. So yes, keep your copy. Yes, you will read it. Ida says she will read it when she gets home.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I will introduce you and Abu to him as well, and Baba as well to him soon. So bye for now. Until tomorrow, keep smiling, keep shining, and thank you for connecting the thoughts with me. Oh yes, and the wolf says.
And have a wonderful day.
And have a wonderful day.